Welcome to the Modern Skein podcast. Y'all know me, Sharon Graff, the owner of the Modern Skein, and I have a new special guest with me this episode.
Hello, I'm Kaylee.
And she is one of the shop staff here at the Modern Skein. So, welcome Kaylee, and she's going to be a guest. Brain not working. I need my coffee. A guest. That's what you're called, a guest on the podcast. Not a guest. I was like a guest speaker. Well, not really. I mean, you can talk, but oh goodness, I need more coffee. So check out what the lovely guys and gals over at Spincycle, ooh, Vanna White Hands, I love it, sent over for Christmas as a little gift. Y'all know I love my coffee mugs. Okay, which we will get to it. We do have a few new skeins of Spincycle that y'all haven't bought us out of quite yet. Getting close, though. So we are past the holidays, and we are in a new year, new whips, all the things. But I do have, finally, a few finished objects to share with you guys from 2024. No, I haven't finished anything this year yet. It's only 3 days in. It's fine. If you tuned into the live podcast, which you can find here, it doesn't show up under videos. You have to click the live tab, and then you can see it. That's where I talked about kind of my new inspiration going forth for the year in regards to what I'm going to be knitting personally, and kind of just my overall aesthetic for 2024 in terms of knitting and all the things. So before I dive in, though, let's get a little background on Kaylee. So how long have you been knitting?
I've been knitting since I was 9. My mom taught me. Well, my mom doesn't know how to knit, but she bought me a book. She tried to teach me.
Nice.
We lived up in Wyoming at the time, and we knew a family who owns a yarn mill. So I was super interested in that from a young age, and yep, I've been knitting ever since.
Awesome.
Mostly lots of small projects. Just within the last 2-3 years, done sweaters and all that, all the big projects. And
exciting.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I was gonna ask something else. Oh, what's your favorite thing to knit so far?
Sweaters.
Sweater.
Definitely sweaters.
Yeah. Yes. So shockingly enough, as much as I love to knit sweaters, I actually have finished 3 shawls or cowls and then a sweater. So let's get going. I did finish, and on time, my officer's test. Now it's so big I gotta hold it back here. So this is the officer's sweater by Maxim Cyr. I've talked about it ad nauseum, but it is finished. It is complete, sewn in. Most of the ends are woven in. Don't look too hard, but it's fine. The yarn is the Les Garçons Walcot Fluff in the colorways Cold Rain and Cinema. For size reference, I knit the second size. And that's the shop phone. We're going to ignore it, because I guarantee you it's a spam call. So, of course, it's a long ring, too. It's going to be nice. Can you silence it? Okay. So, officer's sweater. It is done in a sport at, of course, the officer's. I sport it like a heavy sport to DK. I believe the stitch gauge on here is 19.5. So if you're not a fan of a fluff yarn, which, by the way, when I say I used fluff, I don't mean like a general fluff yarn. The name of this yarn is literally Fluff. It was apparently very confusing to a few viewers of the podcast and people who came in the store when I kept saying the word fluff. They thought I just meant mohair yarns in general. This is actually a base name, is Fluff. But you could easily do this in like a DK, I think. Or a 19.5 stitch gauge. I think it'd be cute. Intarsia. great first time intarsia project. Very much unisex kind of style. This looks great on guys, gals. You can make it shorter. I honestly, if I had not been test knitter, I would have knit it probably one section shorter because it is awfully long on me. Like, it would have been like to here, about 4.5 inches shorter. Still been plenty long enough. And I would have made the sleeves just a smidge shorter, but it's fine. It's cute. It's oversized. And it's a great Christmas sweater.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose it could be a Valentine's sweater too.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
It's very soft.
It is very soft. It is fluff. That's why. So fluff is a blend of, I'm not going to get the percentages right, but it's a blend of merino, yak, baby alpaca, and silk. And it's fabulous. And
it's right behind me here.
Yes, it is. And it's 100% dreamy per the label. Have you knit with it yet?
Not yet. Nope. It's going to be one of my next projects, hopefully.
All right, moving on. Let me show this one because this one's also you've already seen as a whip. So I finished my Bumpy Cowl, finally. I did end up shortening it. So there should be, according to the pattern, 6 of the I-cord bumps. And I just thought that was going to be a little bit too big for me. And somehow I ended up with the stitch count to bind off at this section. So I was like, you know what, it's fine. So plenty big enough for me, and I don't know where I added the extra 10 stitches somewhere, but it's super cute. I do like this a lot. This is going to get a lot of wear. I may wear this today.
It's cute.
I have a birthday party to go to. This would be cute.
Oh, yeah.
So, the yarn I used is the Les Garçons British DK, and then leftover Spincycle in dyed in the wool in every rose. This was leftover from my Bumpy cardigan. And to be perfectly honest, I still have leftover of this. So, my guess is you're sitting at about, I should weigh what I have left, probably less than 20 grams worth of Spincycle. So if you have bits and bobs lying around from other projects, you could probably piece it, because you're just using small little sections of it. You could probably piece together with leftovers, or if you've knit the Vibe Check hat, or maybe something like an Alpenglow or something that uses some Spincycle but not a full skein of Spincycle, you could definitely bust one of these out for sure. And also, it does take, for the full size, it would take 2 skeins of DK because it's a folded over hem collar combo. But if you left that off and shortened it for sure to 4, then you could get away with 1 skein. Just ways you can modify if you don't want tons of fabric around your neck. Okay, third finished object. Another cowl. Ta-da! I actually don't think this ever made it onto a podcast because it was kind of a palette cleanse knit. So this is the Destination Unknown Cowl by Cheryl Faust. We did highlight this on Instagram. I'll show you. It's a very low contrast fade, but you can see there the subtle fade. So this is, main color is British DK, Les Garçons. I know, I have an addiction to that yarn. In the Cheryl's Coal Gray colorway, but I felt very proud of myself because this was stash busting. It was leftover from my Montrealer sweater, and I had 90 grams left on the skein, so almost a full-size skein. And I still have, I think, 20 grams left. So if you've got, what is that, 70 grams lying around of a DK weight that's left over from maybe a sweater, you can bust one of these out. And then a single skein of Dream State by Dyed in the Wool, and this is the colorway The Family Jewels, which currently we are out of stock on, but we do have a nice variety of Dream State, which is the worsted DK available. Okay, last one before I pause for a second. Can hold that end. I cast on and knit the Plump It Up shawl, also by Maxim Cyr. It's very much a Max finished objects. And this is done in 2 skeins of Plump by Spincycle. Unfortunately, y'all have bought us out of all of our Plump, except for one sad little skein that needs a home. And then 2 skeins of Fluff. And you, 2 skeins of Fluff, and you hold it double. So this is the colorway Mist. So it's that seafoamy color. And then I had Ghost Ranch in Plump, and you can really see the colors in it. I know it's not brioche. It is just slip stitches, so the back looks pretty as well. Ignore my knot and my ends I haven't woven in. But yes, so it's a very thick. I mean, it's bulky weight yarn and Fluff held double, but it is a very fast knit. So I did accept Max's challenge of a 3-day knit and cast this on and completed it within 3 days, and I love it. So I am going to show some options to knit this later in the episode without using Spincycle, because we have another yarn. We actually have 2 other yarns that would be really good for this, so we'll share that in a minute. But yeah, Plump It Up. And now, this would have been good when we went to Wyoming, but if we're going to get that polar vortex, which they say we're going to get, and then, no, we're not going to get, yes, we're going to get it, no, we're not going to get it, I don't know. It'd be nice and cozy. All right, so that is the end of my whips. Suri is investigating the skein winder, and now, that's not my whips. Those are finished objects. It's okay. I need more coffee. So now, why don't you share with us what you are working on so I can pause.
I get it out. Just this morning.
I've got to ask though, did you make your bag?
No, actually my friend's mom.
Oh, okay. She also sews.
Yes.
That's why I had to ask.
I casted on the Grace Note sweater in Urth Harvest. I think this is Walnut.
I think so.
I meant to check before I left home, but I did not. But it's working up very nicely. I just joined the fronts to the back this morning before I came here. So yeah.
Very nice.
I'm very excited for this.
So the pattern is Hohi Locatelli.
Yes.
And it's the Grace Notes pullover. Did you have to buy it in the book, or were you able to?
Yes, it's in the book.
It's in the book. Okay. I didn't remember if it was sold separately or not. So it's in the MDK Field Guide book called Grace, which we have in the store. You can also purchase the book as an ebook on Ravelry as well. So, but it is not an individual pattern yet. But yeah, that's looking real good. Yay! So now I'll move on to, I only have 2 whips because if y'all watched my podcast, Hair Club, the live podcast, I spent my Christmas break ripping out whips.
It's too early in the morning.
It's way too early in the morning to be saying ripping out whips. So one of the whips that I ripped out my bolt sweater. Just a synopsis real quick. Ripped out my bolt sweater, again, not because of the fault of the pattern. I want to knit that. I just really do want the graphic black and white color choice that Max originally chose. And mine is more of a really beautiful heathery gray and dark navy blue, which is great. I have another project in mind for it, but it's just not going to be the bolt sweater. And then I also ripped out my Geo Gradient West Knits MCal. The black yarn is actually going to be repurposed into this project, and potentially, if I need the extra yarn, the Emma Stone. And then, because I am going to, I'll talk about that when I talk about about this. The other 2 yarns, which are Meredith's Gray and Cheryl's Coal Gray, will be used in future projects. I've already been dreaming about what those could be. So this whip is my Nordiska, which you have seen, I think. But I've been working on it off and on over the break, and it's so cute. So I have joined, separated for sleeves, all the things, and yes, if you were a normal person, you would have these on waste yarn or Scooby-Doo's, but I have a cat who thinks all plastic products are the most delightful things to eat, and he will not stop until he rips out a Scooby-Doo or Knitting Barber cord from the work and ingests it. This morning, I had, last night, I took out a kitchen appliance that had some parts still like wrapped in their little plastic. Didn't even think about it. This morning, I'm hearing, and he had jumped up on the counter and was trying to ingest these blades wrapped in plastic. Grabbed those. Well, apparently, he had like got a little piece of plastic because I turned, thinking I had solved the problem, putting them away. I hear one last plastic, and he quickly swallowing it and just stares at me. It's like, oh. He's going to the vet later this week or next week. Anyway, for another issue. Besides the point. So, according to the pattern for Nordiska, which Nordiska is by Caitlin Hunter, technically, you're supposed to start the hem now. I don't know about y'all, but that would not work for me. No. So I'm going, it does say on there, knit for 1 inch after the splitting for sleeves, or knit until you are 5 inches away from your desired length. I need longer than 6 inches here. Thank you very much. And so I don't know exactly how long I'm going to knit, but I'm assuming that I'm going to knit around at least 4 inches. I'm going to measure a couple of my other sweaters that I like the length of, because I don't want this to be super long. I just want it to be long enough. And kind of measure the difference there. But I'm pretty sure most of my sweaters that I like the most are around the 12-inch mark. So then I'm probably going to knit closer to 6 inches. So, that being said, I'm also modifying the sleeves. I'm taking inspiration from the Knitting Traditions podcast. Inga, several years ago, she knit this sweater, and I've also already knit this sweater. I knit it several years ago, but the original pattern, the sleeves are basically 3/4 length like what I'm wearing, and they decrease down rather rapidly within the color work and kind of cinch in, creating a balloonish kind of effect right here. And I already have big biceps. I don't need to balloon that out anymore. So I'm going to knit a straight sleeve, and I'm also going to knit it a bit longer, and then modify the color work just ever so slightly to just be a straight sleeve all the way down, no decreases. So that's what I'm doing with that. Stay tuned. My color work, color choices, of course, that's Emma Stone. Okay, I don't think I said it already. BFL Sock by Les Garçons. And then Vincents Highland Cool. And Moira's Black Rose. And it's a tangled mess in this bag. And there's needles, there's a penny, and there's an electrolyte drink packet in there as well. So, I'm prepared. Oh, there's a dime too. Great. Okay, so, that was your only whip?
Yes.
Okay. Me only whip.
Not for long.
No. What are you going to cast on next?
Oh, I don't know. I have so many projects I want to do.
I do have my Traveler's shawl that we are knitting on our Knitalong. I haven't knit on it in a day or two because I've been working on this other project that I'm going to show you in a second, but I am loving how this looks. Ta-da! So Traveler's Shawl by Andrea Mowry. I'm using a sport weight yarn. Can't tell you whose sport weight yarn or what it is exactly. It is a sneak preview of coming attractions to the shop. And I think we'll be allowed to say something in February about the yarn. So by the time we finish it, this knit-along. And then fingers crossed that we have the yarn in the shop in March, roughly. So stay tuned for that. And I will go ahead and talk about my last whip, which has been getting all my attention. It's just so good. Okay. This is the Lakes Pullover by Ozetta.
I love the color.
It's, oh my gosh, it's so squishy. So this is, I'll show you guys. Ta-da! Sleeve. So sleeves are done. So it's like a sweatshirt. It's like a cozy sweatshirt. And honestly, I need to measure, but I probably will knit just another couple inches, and then it's a fairly wide band. And do that. Now, this is the last skein of yarn that I have, so I can't make it too much longer, but I'm loving this. So this is my first personal whip of the new year, meaning, yes, y'all can see it in the shop, but this is staying at home with me most of the time, and I'm going to wear it all the time, especially with this cold weather we've been having. The yarn, I should be able to confirm and announce that we are bringing in this brand in the next few weeks, so maybe by the next podcast. Not entirely sure. We're just waiting on confirmation of the exact color palette that we're pulling in and make the deposit and make it all secure. But this yarn is amazing. It is a worsted weight yarn. It's from a new dyer that we haven't brought in before, and it's a fairly new base. I don't think I've ever had a 100% Rambouillet in the shop. I know we've had a Rambouillet blend before, but I don't think we've had 100% Rambouillet. So it's 100% Rambouillet non-superwash, fabulous color palette, and yeah, I'm super excited to be bringing this, to work with this brand. It's a great brand to be working with, and yeah, to be able to bring it to you guys. It's not like it's unavailable, but it's not widely available. So, yay! So, you will see me, once this is finished, which I'll probably finish it up this weekend, I will be wearing this a lot. It's so good. And you can just see the beautiful stitch definition. And I'm knitting it at a rather loose gauge. I think the pattern is like 16 inch or 16 stitch gauge, which for a worsted weight, it's not that uncommon. It's just gorgeous. I love the tonalities. And every now and then there's a little slubby bit in the yarn, and it's just so nice. Oh, I love it. So good. Okay. Not to mention, I love the color. I think the colorway name is Dune. Yes, it's Dune. So, yay. Okay, so that's all my whips that I brought. Finally. Okay, now, real quick, I do want to talk about our next, we have the Traveler's Shawl knit-along going on, but you can still participate if you want to join. All the details are on our website. Link should be down here in the show notes. But we have our Tulsa Tea knit-along starting January 13th. So there's still plenty of time for you to buy your yarn, make your decisions. If you're in the local area, you can definitely sign up for our workshop that we'll be giving that day in the afternoon. Just send us an email to RSVP for the workshop. That workshop is going to be geared for people who have never knit a sweater before. So if you have knit a sweater, you're comfortable reading a patterns, it's not something that you need to attend. But if you want to really dive in, make this your year of sweaters, or just try to stretch yourself with a new project, the Tolsta Tea and the workshop may be something for you. I was going to show you my yarn choice, but I realized I really haven't decided 100% what my yarn choice is. I did bring two options. So I have at home, I believe, I need to double check yardage, but I think I have enough of this. This is Duo, which we normally only stock in more of the summer months. I have a little bit over there. But Duo is a yarn from Sandus Garn that it's a 55-45 wool and cotton blend. Merino wool and cotton blend. And this is the colorway light beige, and I'm pretty sure I have either light beige or kit, which is similar, at home, and that would just be kind of a head start on a summer top, which would be nice. Or got inspired, another customer who's joining us in the Knitalong is using the Ulysse by Durarum Natura in a different color, but this color is so nice. This is Poivre, which means mushroom, FYI. I think it's a very good representation of mushroom.
Yeah.
That earthy bit. Decisions. Decisions. I have till the 13th to make my decision. So, do I want a summer top, or do I want more of a year-round tee? Gotta decide. Okay. Let's talk about all this beautiful yarn. So Kaylee texted me after I had left yesterday, hey, UPS brought a box. Well, I'm about to show you what was in the box. Ta-da! I'll let you hold those. So we restocked the Arbor Lodge from Brooklyn Tweed. These are the three colors that we were missing. So we've got Snow Cone, Cadet, and Tail Feather. And then I wanted to go ahead and show you the other colors because I know when I talked about them last time, they were cut off from the video. So we've got those three colors. We also have Pollen for kind of a bright color. More neutrals. We have Pebble, Natural, and Knapsack. Then we have Klimped, Burnished, Cottage, which is deeper. Okay, that's showing really orange, but it's Snow Cone. It's like
a pinkish red.
It's a pink red. It's like you get like raspberry red dye number 40 syrup all over your snow cone. That's pretty much what it is. Then we have Kiln, not Klimped, Kiln, which is that nice burnt orange. Cargo, truly the color of cargo pants I really want to buy. I'm on no spend January. Barely There, which Barely There you may recall is a colorway from the Dapple line that I knit the No Sweatshirt, which is that Barely There pink nude color. It's not white. There it is next to Natural. So these would be perfect. You would need 3 skeins. Mental math. No, 2 skeins for a Bumpy. No. Plump It Up. Plump It Up. 2 of these. And then 2 of these, which we also got in. This is the long-awaited Ching Fiber Melted Baby Suri. So it'd be a fun little juxtaposition. Whatever. You know what I'm saying. Be a fun switch up to go from your main color, which would be normally the Spincycle Plump, and having that gradient, to having that be solid, and having your Suri, your Melted Baby Suri, your Fluff, have the variegation. So you've seen all the colors of this. Now we're going to show you all the colors of Ching that we got in. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Alright, this one got Space Cadet, like a camo-y kind of color.
Pretty.
I like this one. Got Zero Gravity.
That's
Look at
been
all the-
popular.
Yes. Look at all the bright colors.
Uh,
It's pretty when you wind it up,
I was
too.
about to say, that was the one you wound up for Valerie. Yeah, that was
It's pretty.
gorgeous.
And then we got Star-Lord.
Guardians of the Galaxy reference. Okay, my personal favorite.
I like this one.
Are we surprised? This is Blue Finch. This is really, really pretty. We have Honeycomb. Another favorite of mine. Manta Ray. This is one of her newer colors, but it's very reminiscent of Firefly and Hedgehog. Here, I'll give you a handful.
I'm not get them mixed up.
Yeah. Oh, and then Hero. It's so good. I mean, it would. If you really love
Ooh,
tone-on-tone
yeah.
blue, that would be insane.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. We got Time Traveler.
Mm,
Very nice pastels.
that would be real pretty with this. Tail
Yeah.
feather. Yeah, it would.
And then we'll do one.
Okay. Pufferfish. And I actually think that one would be fun with the cottage.
Oh, yeah.
It's got those not cottage, kiln with the orangey specks in there.
We got this Marshmallow.
That'd be pretty with the natural
Mhm,
or
that's
even
what I
the
was thinking.
barely there. Onyx, which is not black at all. It's purple. Purple and brown. It's really, really pretty. That would actually be really nice with
Ooh.
burnished. It's got that same kind of brown tone in there.
We got Milky Way. Pops of yellow and dark pink.
Ooh, the pollen would be good with that one. This one.
Oh, yeah.
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 That'd be good. This is Mermaid. It's mostly that sagey mint, more mint than
More mint.
sage.
Mhm.
And then the fun pop of fuchsia. I would probably do the natural with this one.
We got Tamagotchi.
Tamagotchi.
Yeah.
Tamagotchis from my era. Oh, I feel old. Flamingo. Flamingo is, we have a shop sample of the birthday cake cowl in Flamingo, which is a great option if you're looking for a one skein project. And then last but not least, Tumbleweed. I also think Tumbleweed and burnished would be really pretty combo. So those are all the colorways that we have left. There were a few others and they have already sold out. So if you are looking for Melted Baby Surrey, it goes pretty fast and I'll say it's not reliable for us to get in. So if you want it, I would go ahead and highly recommend that you grab it. It is 181 yards, 50 gram skein, somewhat comparable. It's a little bit less yardage than Fluff, but for most projects that call for, say, 2 skeins of Fluff, you can also do it with 2 skeins of the Melted Baby Surrey, unless the pattern explicitly states that you may need to buy a 3rd skein of Fluff for potential yarn shortages or yarn chicken. So, real quick, before we talk about the Spincycle that we got in, we also have some of the Red Stag Fiber Abbey yarn. So if you're not familiar, we get this yarn in just a couple times a year. This is Red Stag's benefit yarn for one of his employees, a little girl named Abby, who is fighting leukemia. She is just had a birthday, 5 years old now, and she picked out all the colors in here, and it's super cute. So we do have it on cottage sock, and we have it on estate DK, and $10 from every skein sold goes straight to Abby and her family. Okay. Spincycle. Okay. So we got some of the new colors, which is super fun as well. You got 4 and 4? Oh, that worked out.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
First of all, I picked up one of these. Look at that.
Yes.
This one's Straw Flower.
That is a really good color.
I love this.
Remember last episode I showed you guys, I have it on the Plump and wound up, it's like so good. So good. And it's got a lot of navy in it. I think it would be really pretty in a shift.
Oh yeah.
I put together a shift yesterday. I have to show you before I leave. This is Bomboloni. Bomboloni. They have some unique names. So this is one of their newer colors that just released. So is Straw Flower, actually. But Bomboloni has this like mint and green and brown and then pinks and corals. It's crazy. It's named after, I think, an Italian candy or baked good. I'm not entirely remembering, but similar colors to that. So that's a fun one.
This one is the castle.
Classic.
Nice. With the blues and the purples and the yellows.
Of course, we restocked Every Rose. I also wanted to restock Ghost Ranch, but it was not available. But Every Rose is back. So if you're looking for what I used in the Bumpy or the Bumpy Cowl, we have it. And this batch is delightfully mixed with the pinks and the teals and the greens. It's wonderful.
We got Light Years with the blues and the greens.
This batch of Light Years, I have never, the Light Years that I've always purchased has always been like gray and green. So I really love the blue, and some of the skeins are almost teal and green, which is really pretty. This is Levitate. You may remember last time we got in Levitate, and it has considerably more orange in it. This is very, very fuchsia and super fun. So, pink lovers, grab some Levitate.
My last one, Close Call. This one, I love this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the moody tones.
You could almost kind of fade it with Straw Flower.
I was going to say, yeah.
Because it's similar but different.
Mm-hmm.
It's really nice. And then last but not least, we have Cold Comfort. So if you're looking for the pastels, this is right up your alley. It's very, very soft, like mauve and gray and baby blue and like a teal. Very, very pastel colors. So all that was dyed in the wool, 200 yards per skein. All available right there on our website. So, I gotta show you guys too. The and there's only one left of Shades of Urth, so somebody needs to grab this. So Shades of Urth, Straw Flower, and Salty Dog.
Oh yeah.
It's good. It's real good. So I don't know what I'm doing. All right, so that wraps up the podcast for the moment. Thank you, Kaylee, for joining.
Pleasure.
I believe we will be seeing her on future episodes as well. So definitely drop a comment and say hi to Kaylee. Spell your name for us, please.
It's Ceili. So
yes.
I should have worn my name tag.
Yeah, that would have been helpful. I'll type it out in the comments so you guys, or in the show notes, so you guys can see that. I was going to say something else. Check our website for, of course, all the new yarns that we have here, but then also our Knitalong information. It is under our current events tab on the website. And yeah, be sure and following us on social media. You can find me at, of course, The Modern Skein. And you're on Instagram too.
Yes.
Designs
by Laurel Bay.
Yes. And she has sewing patterns out too. So maybe one day we'll even convince her to do knitting patterns. Who knows? Mm-hmm. So definitely come by the shop, say hi. We'll see you online fulfilling your orders. You may see Packed by Kaylee on there. And yeah, that's all I got. I'm running out of words to say. So have a great day, and we'll see you in about 2 weeks. Bye, guys.
Bye.